history. A crime, by the way, that he so far has zero evidence of. The left, they're losing their collective minds. Just a quick update on that New York City crash on Times Square. Looked like Mayor de Blasio was on TV a minute ago saying it is not connected to terrorism. Not connected to terrorism. I'll update you on that as we go along. My guest right now is Allyn Root, syndicated talk show host extraordinaire, author, politician. How are you, Wayne?
Hey, good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great. Wow. When I hear things like that out of the left, I expect them to blow this out of proportion and use it for their own means. But sometimes they are so far off track, it just infuriates me when they make ridiculous statements like that.
Mark, they're not off track. They made this stuff up. This has been a conspiracy, a criminal conspiracy, not Trump and the Russians. I mean the Democrats and Obama and Hillary and George Soros and all the people out there, all the commies, all the Marxists, all the socialists, all the progressives, all the environmentalists. They all got together and they came up with a conspiracy the day after Trump was elected, tie him to Russia, and they've been making up stories ever since. There isn't one shred of evidence anyone had anything to do with Russia. It just came out today that there were, I think, like 16 phone calls between Trump staff and Russia that were never disclosed before, and that was the headline, and you're like, wow, Look at that. Let's go look at it. And then you looked at it, and every single one of them was a call about national security, a call about the economy, a call about trade. This is what you do when you're about to be president of the United States. You're supposed to talk to other countries. It's got nothing to do with fixing an election. And oh, by the way, has everyone missed the point that Seth Rich was the DNC staffer, was murdered, 2 shots to the head in the street of Washington, D.C., and nobody tried to rob him? No one took his phone. No one took his watch. No one took $2,000 in cash. No one took his jewelry around his neck. No one did anything. They just ran away after murdering him. They didn't want his money. It was a murder. It was a murder because he's the guy, it turns out, who sent 43,000 emails from DNC, Democratic National Committee, to WikiLeaks, which means there never was a Russian hack.
Thank
the whole
you.
thing was made up. And by the way, someone murdered him. Do you think maybe Hillary would have had the most reason for murdering someone? I've watched enough Law and Order to understand who the number one suspect always is. I can't say who's guilty, but I could say who had the motive to kill him would be the woman who was running for president, and the leak was destroying her lifelong dream to be president of the United States. Wouldn't you make Hillary the number one suspect in the murder?
Absolutely, but here's the thing, is that the whole memo from Comey suddenly magically got dropped to the media the same day that the story broke that Seth Rich on his computer sent 43,000 files from the DNC to WikiLeaks. And the mainstream media in this country, they absolutely follow the shiny object, and they have not reported that story at all, other than Fox.
I hope everyone goes to my website after hearing this interview with Mark, because my website's rootforamerica.com. My latest commentary is out. It is called The Crucifixion of Donald Trump. Crucifixion of President Donald Trump. And again, I make pains in the article to say I'm not comparing Trump to Jesus. I'm not saying Trump is Jesus. Donald Trump is a flawed human being like the rest of us. None of us compare to Jesus Christ. What I am saying is that Jesus Christ so scared the powers that be that both the Romans and the people they suppressed, the Jews, together, all their leadership got together to frame and destroy Jesus Christ. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. He's scaring and threatening. He's a dangerous man. And he's scaring so many groups, whether they be people who love open borders, people who want to import Muslims, people who want to give away food stamps and welfare to the whole country, people who want to overwhelm the system, people who run the biggest corporations that want open borders because they want cheap employees, people that run corporations that get government contracts, every government employee in America, every head of every agency in America. They all hate and are scared to death and are nervous and concerned about Donald Trump because he wants to really cut the size of government, and because of the words in his speech the other day, Mark, which are the greatest words ever spoken. In America, we don't worship government, we worship God. That scared the bejesus, and all of this started to multiply even worse. It's been bad since the day he was elected, but it all multiplied like rabbits the moment he said those words at Liberty University. The next day, all of this started. I'm telling you, there's no coincidence. He has convinced all the powers that be that he's got to go. whether they have to kill him, whether they have to kill his reputation, whether they have to impeach him, whether they have to, whatever they have to do, I'm convinced they're willing to do, and that includes assassination. You know, liberals talk about it all day long on the internet, so why should I avoid the topic? Go on Twitter, go on Facebook. They're all crazy. They all want to kill, publicly, they say they want to kill, or they hope he gets killed, Donald Trump. Can you imagine if one conservative ever said they wanted to kill Obama on the internet? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
My God, the racism involved in it. So the reality is they're crazy, and this is a crucifixion. It reminds me of both Mel Gibson films, Braveheart and what everyone involved in power tried to do to Sir William Wallace.
Right.
And it reminds me of the Passion of Christ and what they all conspired to do to Jesus Christ. Donald Trump is doing the right thing, and that's why all of this is happening.
It is a great analogy, and I appreciate you pointing that out in both instances.
Yes, you don't have to believe Trump is Christ. No one's saying that.
Right? No, right? No, not at all.
Misconstrues what I say. Right-wing watch follows every word I say now, and they put it up on their site, and they try and twist every word out of context. No one thinks Trump is God or Christ. I do think the attacks on him remind me of nothing that's ever happened since Sir William Wallace and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I hope if people haven't watched Braveheart, this would be a good time to go back and watch it, just so you understand as well the point Wayne is making there.
Mark? It was a really bad ending to both movies.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And that's what I fear Donald Trump is facing.
Freedom!
These people won't rest until he's in prison or disgraced and discredited, and his fortune's gone because they've destroyed his name around the world, even though he got elected with 63 million of us who all still love him. So here's my advice to Donald Trump, okay? And I'm about to put this in writing to Donald. Number one, you got to get out of Washington, D.C. You have to leave Washington and do all your business on the phone and travel the nation and just accept the love in football stadiums of 20, 30, 40,000 people who love you in every city in America. Go on a 3-month tour of America and arrange football stadiums filled with 40,000 fans everywhere to stick it right in the media's face and where the sun don't shine, and stick it right in the liberals' face. But most importantly, every single stadium should be in a Republican district to stick it in the Republican congressman's face. That you can't get 5 people in a phone booth, yet you're criticizing Trump, and he can get 40,000 of your constituents in a football stadium screaming his name like he's Bear Bryant. You got to do that because that's where you get your energy, Donald Trump. And you've also got to go on conservative talk radio day and night. A little self-serving for Allyn Root and Mark Cox. Who cares? He needs to be on our shows accepting love from the people and sending love to the people. All that matters now is your base, Donald. No one else matters. There isn't a Trump hater in America that will ever be allowed by this sick press, this mentally ill, corrupt, biased press, to ever become a Trump lover. So just stick with the 63 million of us that love you, that listen to talk radio, and spend all your time on Fox News and Newsmax TV and conservative talk radio and just at football stadiums, and then spend money to create infomercials bragging about what you've accomplished, and go right over the media's head and go straight to the people, and just don't even set foot anymore in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Like the advice?
Yeah, I do. I think he's already talked about canceling his daily briefings and doing them once every 2 weeks, and the media's head just about spun off its shoulders.
Yeah, I know the deal now. I mean, I understand the whole way that the media is destroying not just Donald, but us, all of us. If you took 100 people, Mark, and you followed Allyn Root and Mark Cox around all day long, and a camera followed every single thing we did, including into the bathroom and the bedroom, and listened to every speech and every word of our 3-hour radio shows, you could destroy anybody, especially if you took anything you found and took it out of context and made it a headline. You could destroy anybody.
Sure.
So the media actually isn't a fraud. They don't make things up. They just find something you and I say out of context and try and destroy us and hang us with it, and they never, ever focus a camera on a single liberal, and they never follow the speech of a single liberal and pick it apart. There's nobody to ever watch liberals under a microscope, but they send the NSA and the IRS and every other government agency to come after you, me, and Donald Trump and all his friends. And this is their game plan. And this is what they're going to do to wreck conservatives. And the problem is Republicans don't fight back. We need to be as vicious as they are. It's time to take the gloves off. We are the dumbest people in the world. They're not Republicans in general, but the leadership of Congress and the Senate. They are stupid as night and day. It's unbelievable. Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, They're worthless, good-for-nothing sacks of garbage. They don't fight for us. They don't stick up for us. And they play nice and claim you have to play by Marcus and Queensberry rules while the enemy's taking bazookas and blowing our heads off. And I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it.
Wayne,
we have to fight back.
Well said. Let me direct people to the website again, rootforamerica.com. And Wayne's got a new nationally syndicated radio show, War Now, the Wayne Allyn Root Show. It's on USA Radio Network. Wayne, thank you.
Hey, thank you. God bless.
Talk
Bye-bye.
to you soon. Thank you very much. He is a bundle of energy. Can I just tell you that? Wow. Good points all. I've got issues with every single member of Republican leadership that he mentioned right there. 314-969-9797, 866-455-9797. Much more to come for you. We're going to talk to the folks from the Media Research Council to just examine some of the media obsession with Donald Trump. We'll be right back.
This hour of the Mark Cox Show brought to you by Naputi Wellness, NaputiWellnessCenter.com.
Went by a neighborhood pool the other day. The water's full. Obviously, the thing needs to be cleaned up, but that's what every pool owner faces this time of year. Memorial Day is upon us. You're ready to open the pool. Who do you use? Who's your pool company? Well, do us a favor and call Mike over at Conservative Pool Services, 314-736-5252, and just have a conversation with him on the phone. Let him describe for you the difference between what he does, what he views as customer service, and what you've got now. If you need your pool opened, because you heard it on this show, he'll give you 20% off the labor for that pool opening and then any service calls. If you are a real estate agent or an individual who needs a pool inspected because you're selling your house, he'll do that as well with a